Hey folks, now that my every street in and around Wingham tour is complete, and I'm going to make some observations here. One of them I think is kind of cool. First of all, the street I grew up in has a lot of the same street names as what's here, which is kind of neat. You get the obvious ones like the tree names, oak, elm, maple. I think they're pretty much universal to all places. And a lot of the people names, especially the female names, they're both common. And in Wingham we got the Maitland River, so we got Maitland Street, and I think Maitland Lane, Maitland Court. I don't know, there's two of them anyways, named after the river that runs through the town. Well, in my town it was Grand River, so we have Grand River Street North. So, well, I guess it was Grand River Street South as well, but Grand River. So it was named after the river, which is kind of cool. And we also had the Nith River, and it was, I believe it was Nith Street. So, similarities there. But there's a couple odd things that I found. Normally, let me just kind of zoom in here. When you have a street that's split like this here, so it's got a name. This is Maple Street. If I can get the name to come up. There it is, Maple Street. And then it skips a block and then continues. Well, normally it would continue, and it would still be the same. So it would still be Maple Street. Sometimes they're separated by north and south or east and west or whatever, but it's still got the same base name. And for this one here, if we can get it to come up, is Bullen Street. So when it continues out the other side, it changes names, which is kind of weird. Now, another interesting situation here. I got this street here, which is Shooter Street. It continues on and it ends right here. But this little part here is also Shooter Street, and they're not even connected, so it's kind of an extension, but it's an offset extension, which I also thought was kind of weird. But there's one thing here that makes no sense to me whatsoever. This road right here is Alice Street. Okay, it doesn't go any further. Like Shooter Street here is kind of offset, but it's a different, that's Center Street, it's a different name, so it doesn't continue anywhere, it's just right there. However, if I move up here, we have another Alice Street. We have two Alice Streets in Wingham. That makes no sense to me. And it's not like one's Alice Street and the other one's Alice Road or Alice Court or something, which is the same name, but it's got different extensions, so they're both different. These are both Alice Street. That must be really confusing for emergency services. I don't know, I figured that out. The only thing I can think of is the one here in town. The house numbers would be 1, 2, 3 digits, whereas out here in the country, the fire numbers would probably be 4 or more digits. I guess that's the only way you could really distinguish between the two. But I have never seen that anywhere I've been. The same, two street names the same in the same town, which is kind of weird. So if I zoom out here, let's go visit the moon, and I type in Alice Street on the map, and guess where it takes me? It takes me to the one in town. The one out here on Google Earth or in Google Maps, it makes no reference to this one whatsoever. So I got thinking, well, maybe this isn't actually Alice Street. Maybe it's got a different name and Google just messed up, which happens. We all know that. I found a lot of things that were kind of weird. but when I look at my videos, when I see the street name marker, they're both Alice Street. So I don't get it. So anyways, it's been a fun tour. I was actually surprised I got it done as quick as I did. I was pretty sure it would take me a lot longer than 5 days. It's kind of didn't last long enough for my liking, but there are lots of warm days left, so I'm gonna go out and enjoy. And one tour that I did like is this part right here, and I will show that in green, and that is the Holmes Line and Glenannon Road and North Street West Loop. And that was an absolutely beautiful drive. If you remember my videos when I get startled by the turkeys, that's where it was. And that was probably right around in this area here somewhere. Yeah, because it was before the open field, so I had come up the hill, and I was waiting to get to the open field to see where the turkeys cross, because, they like fields, especially in the morning, that's where they congregate. So I kind of expected when I got to the field I'd see them out there, but they were in the bushes just before it, and they just kind of flew out and scared the crap out of me. So, I want to go do that tour again, because like I say, it was just an absolutely beautiful drive, and it's another really hot day, so I'm going to go enjoy that. Hey folks, a little bit depressed today. I've been doing great all summer. Monster, well, it's been working. The weather's been pretty much hot all summer, everything's been good. I realized last night, summer's almost over already. Now, technically we still have a month left, but when the kids go back to school, that's when I determine that summer is over. And well, that's only 2 weeks away. Gotta get 2 more hot days, and then it's gonna start cooling off again, and I'll start working on the monster, get some more stuff done. But today's gonna be the hottest day, so I am heading out and doing probably my last long tour of this year. And I really enjoyed the Holmes Line drive, so I'm gonna do that one again. I discovered something regarding the rattle up here that I thought that was the wires. I discovered, I don't know if you can hear this, the camera itself is actually rattling. Something inside is loose. These things are a pain. Taking apart's not too bad, but getting them back together is kind of rough, so I'm not taking it apart, so I guess I gotta have to deal with that. I guess that's all I got. So I'm gonna go out for another hot tour. If you notice me stop and back up there, there was some garbage in the ditch, and I think they were oil jugs, and with the labels on them, it looked like the back end of a motorcycle. So I thought I saw a motorcycle in the ditch, so I had to go back and check and make sure, and I realized it was just garbage. So I got down in this little, I don't know what you'd call it. It's confusing to me why there's a stop sign here, but maybe they're just slowing people down. It's a two-way stop. People from both directions have to stop here. But it's just so pretty down in here. It's nice and cool because it's so shaded and closed in. And I come up to this road here. Now, I think I've talked about this before. This is Gibbons Line. And I said that was one of the roads that I wouldn't be driving on because it doesn't really go anywhere. It goes out to the highway. And the speed at that particular section of highway is 90 kilometers per hour, and that's too fast for me to be out there. So it's just too dangerous, so I decided I'm not going to be going down that road. But I get to the entrance here and I'm passing it and I'm looking up. This is the second time I've gone by here. And I'm looking at it. It's so enticing. It looks like such a beautiful place to drive. So I decided I'm just going to go down just a little ways just to see what it looks like out there. Well, that was the plan. Look at this view. You park a trailer by the trees down there. I could live there. Just, without the storms, of course. I lived in a trailer for 3.5 years. That's how I developed my fear of wind. But I could deal with that. That would be such a beautiful place to wake up and look out the window and see. Just beautiful. Now that was one of the most beautiful drives I've had yet. So as I sit here, take a break and watch the high-speed traffic go by, I'm trying to make a decision. I don't really want to go back the way I came. I hate retracing my steps. Or go down this dangerous highway. Well, by the time I was ready to leave, I'd made the decision. Problem I have is there's this narrow bridge that I have to cross, and it's kind of uphill, so the monster will be a bit slower, but at least I can see a fair distance, so I can tell when there's traffic coming, so I gotta sit and wait for an open spot. Thankfully there's not a whole lot of traffic today. And this is another area I never expected to be adding to my map. Well, this day was full of surprises. And the final surprise for today, I get down to the dam and there's people down there fishing, and well, there's the heron. It's sitting on a rock. I know you can't see it in the video. I knew that at the time, and I wanted to point it out, so I got my phone out and I tried to get a picture of it. But even at maximum zoom with my phone, it's still just a little too far away. So, it's there, it's sitting on the rock, and it's not too far from the fisherman. So I'm thinking this guy's getting kind of brave. So that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching.